So the purpose of this video is to review what we did last week, which is namely the momentum impulse theorem. So we had a couple of definitions. The first definition was impulse, and that was the force applied to an object over a period of time, and it's represented by the letter J. So we take force times time, and that gives us impulse. So this right here is impulse. We label this as force, and we label this as time. So there we go. The second big concept that we learned was momentum, and that's represented by the letter P, and it's equal to the mass times the velocity the object is moving at. So we have letter P for momentum, M is mass, and V is velocity. Now the way we came to discover these two formulas was actually by looking at a little experiment that we're going to reproduce again in the following video clip.
Here's my favorite demonstration of impulse. I have two eggs, same mass. I'm going to try to throw each egg with the same velocity. That means they have the same momentum. If the impulses were equal, why do we have such dramatically different results? The wall applies a big stopping force over a short time. The sheet applies a smaller stopping force over a longer time period.
So from this video, we actually get the real formula that we were able to use all week for all the problems that we did, which is that there is a connection between impulse and momentum. Namely, that the impulse actually produces a change in momentum in an object. So impulse produces a change in momentum. And we actually write that using the following formula. We can say the impulse equals the change in momentum. But if we want to flesh it out using all this stuff here, we write it like this. Force times time equals m times v final minus m times v initial. So in other words, the force of the wall or the bed sheet acting over time, right? So this part here is like that's the wall or the bed sheet. And this is the effect on the egg, which is namely that it stops. And what I want to be clear on though is each of these, the wall and the impulse in the video, they apply the same impulse. And as it says in the video, a big force over a small time, that's the wall, okay, versus a small force over a big time, that's the sheet. So that's pretty much all the theory that we did last week. And all the problems that we did involved using the impulse momentum theorem. And there's going to be a few wrap-up problems in the homework just to make sure that we're summarizing everything and that you feel completely comfortable with the impulse momentum theorem.